Hi, welcome to Sask Moto. In this video, I'm going to give you my review of the BMW G310GS. So, I remember being intrigued by the G310GS when it first came out. It's a, proper adventure bike at a surprisingly affordable price. I was a bit skeptical though. Could an entry-level bike like this really deliver the excitement and capability of a bigger adventure bike? G310GS is a popular entry-level adventure bike, but is it all it's cracked up to be? And let me answer that question for you. I've owned the Baby G for a little over 2 years now. I have about 4,200 miles or a little bit over 4,200 miles on it. And the longest I've ridden it in one day is 350 miles with about 8.5 hours in the saddle. So I think I'm experienced enough to answer this question. And that answer is a resounding yes. It is a great motorcycle. There are common perceptions about this motorcycle. It's a beginner bike, it's affordable, gets good gas mileage. One of the most surprising aspects I've had on it the first time I rode it was its handling. This is not my first motorcycle, but my sixth. I've owned both street and dirt bikes, with the majority of my motorcycle riding on the street. Now, the speed isn't mind-blowing at all, but yet it is smooth, and the feeling when riding it around corners and on back roads is amazing. I think that it's probably one of the best handling motorcycles I have ridden. It gives you a very good sense of confidence and helps you build your skills. The way it sticks to the corners and adequate braking give you a sense of security. For a motorcycle that costs $6,000, you really can't beat it. So let's go beyond the basics. Its unexpected versatility. It has capable off-road performance, and that comes from the ground clearance that you would expect from an all-out adventure bike. People say the suspension is bad. I actually have ridden it stock out in the Utah backcountry, and it was good enough. And this is from someone weighing 235 pounds. So from a street to simple fire roads, you have no problems. It has more than enough power off-road and could go close to 90 on the freeway. That's 90 miles per hour on the freeway. And all around, I think it's an awesome compromise for a motorcycle that costs $5,000 to $10,000 more. The thing that most people don't know is you can go camping on it. Get some bags and you can go anywhere. I've also ridden it with a passenger and it has enough power for that as well. I have taken it in all conditions off-road and on the street. You won't have more fun on a motorcycle. Do you need all of the mods that I have to have fun? No, not at all. The only mods that I can think of that you need are for protection. The skid plate that comes with it is plastic, so you'll need to replace that. You want to get crash bars to protect the fairings and also hand guards to protect your hands. Everything else is optional. One thing that people don't talk about is how the tires are tubeless. I have the Honda Transalp, and that is a feature I miss. I wish the Honda had tubeless rims or tubeless tires. The looks about the motorcycle, people compliment me all the time. They always ask, is that a 1000cc or 750? They say it's awesome looking motorcycle, and I would have to agree. I get a lot of compliments on it. Real world gas mileage for me is 52 miles per gallon, and that is me pinning the throttle all the time. Don't judge, because I love doing that. So about over 150 miles per tank. And also, one of the things that is really great about it is the parts that are available. There are so many companies out there that have parts for these, so you can customize it the way you want it. Let's talk about the unexpected joy. The G310GS is fun. One thing that I didn't expect is how fun it is to ride. You never own a motorcycle that makes you want to explore and take it places you never had even tried before. Riding it on the backcountry roads in the twisties or taking it off-roading and exploring is something that you will want to do when you own this. I think the G310GS hits the sweet spot between power, weight, affordability, and adventure. Is it the unicorn of motorcycles? No, but it's kind of close. A little bit more power, and maybe it might be. One of the things that no one talks about is the community that owns the Baby G. There are a lot of us out there, and if you do a web search, you'll see all the groups. The sense of community and the owners that share their experiences, both good and bad, is awesome. They talk about a lot of things and help you with some of the issues that you might have and give you ideas of how you can make it better and how you can make the motorcycle better. And they also give you ideas of how to install parts and give you instructions on that. So let's talk about everything beyond the hype that I've just talked about. Let's talk about the criticisms. The clutch. Number one, I am not a fan of the clutch because it is touchy. Sometimes it's hard to get going and stalls, but once you get used to it, it's pretty good. It's not a bad clutch at all. You just have to get used to it. One of the things that people talk about is the cost of ownership. And one of the things that I was really surprised with is the cost to get an oil change at the dealership and how it's ridiculous. It's over $300 for your first service, but I would recommend you get that first service done. And then after that, I would recommend that you do your own services on it, but make sure that you only use genuine BMW parts. One of the other criticisms is that it's made in India, but it was designed by BMW. Does it make it a bad motorcycle? I will say not. The quality is still there, and remember, most manufacturers make bikes in many countries. Ask KTM about that. Some people said it breaks down. In the beginning of the Baby G, they had problems with it. I think over the years they have fixed the problems. One of the issues they had with the water pump, they had an issue with the kickstand and some other things, but they actually fixed all of those things. And I can honestly say the only issue that I've ever had with it is a bad turn signal. And what I did was took it to BMW and they fixed it for free. It wasn't an issue. One of the other criticisms is cast wheels. This is not an issue. I've hit rocks so hard and potholes and abused this motorcycle. I've never had a bent rim or a leak of air in the tire. No issues whatsoever. People say the suspension is bad. Again, it's not an issue. It's meant to be soft because it's meant mostly for street, and that means it's cushy. It can still go off-road. It is not meant for 5-foot drop-offs or anything like that, but it is great for most off-road. If you want to do hardcore off-road, you should get a suspension upgrade, and I have gotten that suspension upgrade. Does it make a difference? Yes, but it's kind of spendy, so keep that in mind. So who is this motorcycle for? I think the number one thing that I've heard from people is they want to downsize. They want to downsize from the big BMWs like the big GS, the 1300. And I've also heard of a lot of people wanting to downsize from like the Teneres and, you know, those types of motorcycles. So they want to get something smaller that they can use. And I've also heard from people that have both motorcycles. They still have the big GS and they have the Baby G, and they use both of them very often. And I also think it's great for a person's first motorcycle. And I want to tell you this. There are a lot of the motorcycle safety foundation classes have the G310, and it's used for those safety classes. So if it wasn't an easy motorcycle to use, I don't think they would use it. It's also for the commuter and the weekend warrior. Someone that wants to have an inexpensive commuter bike and wants to do adventure on the weekend is perfect for that and will work greatly in that role. And I also think it's a great first adventure bike. And this is the reason why I bought this bike. I've ridden street for many years but wanted more. I love off-road and wanted something that I can learn and gain confidence on. And this bike is amazing for that. I looked at all the other smaller bikes and chose this one. The reason was the cost, the weight, the ground clearance, and its looks. It looks awesome. The other thing about this motorcycle is it's a generational bike. And what I mean by that is that it's something that you can keep and hand down to your children and they can enjoy it as much as you do. Or you can get another bike and pass this on to your spouse, get them into motorcycling. It's not for everyone, but for those who appreciate its unique strengths, it can be an exceptional machine. Final thoughts on it. It's a surprising package. It has so many features on it, and the characteristics of it are just so fun. It's a lot of fun to ride, and it has a lot of strengths. And one of the things that I want you to do is come look at all the other videos that I've done it. You can see what it's capable of. And then if you're in the market for it and you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And also, for those viewers that have a motorcycle, also share your own experiences in the comments so that people can look at it and see how you feel about it. One of the things I would ask you to do too is if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.